Now in Action 2 News at 10, video you see here shows a large early morning brawl in Green Bay involving dozens of people. Challenges police are facing on making an arrest in just a moment. Plus, senators have come to an agreement on new gun legislation, reactions from lawmakers on how this may impact future gun owners. Plus, a Juneteenth event happened in Appleton 1 week early. See how our community celebrated the end of slavery in our country.
From WBAY TV, your first alert station, Action 2 News at 10 starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Joshua Peguero. Brittany Schmidt has a night off. As you saw there, that violent large brawl, Green Bay police are investigating it. It happened early this morning on the 1200 block of East Mason Street. Officers were called to the scene at around 3 in the morning. Police tell Action 2 News no arrests have been made as of yet. They say when officers arrived, those who were there either offered little cooperation or refused to cooperate at all. Police add their concern with the disruption the fight caused in the community. A resident says he saw more than 50 people involved in this incident. Waupaca County deputies spent the weekend searching along the Little Wolf River for a missing man. As we reported yesterday, 26-year-old Brandon Colligan was last seen getting coffee with a friend in Stevens Point Friday morning. Deputies say his vehicle was found in the town of Royalton, his wallet and phone inside. Waupaca County deputies say they've searched the length of Little Wolf River, a half-mile north of the Highway 54 Royalton Bridge to the access point on Ostrander Road. The agency used dive teams, drone teams, and underwater imageries. Crews did not find him despite searching all this weekend. This case remains very much under investigation. Brandon was last seen wearing a white short-sleeved dress shirt and blue shorts. He is about 5 feet and 10 inches tall, weighing 160 pounds, and has brown hair and blue eyes. If you have any information on where he may be, contact the Waupaca County Sheriff's Office. A bipartisan group of senators working together on gun reform announced an agreement today to tackle the gun violence in America. This comes in the wake of the mass shooting at Robb Elementary School that killed 19 students and 2 teachers, and in Buffalo, where a gunman killed 10 African Americans at a grocery store. The agreement includes a crackdown on criminals who illegally evade gun licensing requirements. It also contains an investigative period to review juvenile and mental health records for gun buyers under 21, including checking state databases and local law enforcement.
It's an issue that's so red hot that we haven't done a thing for 30 years, and we're in the midst of these national tragedies from these mass shootings one after the other. To think that a group of senators, bipartisan group, can come together and take measured but important steps forward toward gun safety is nothing short of a political miracle.
Republican Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell released a statement saying, quote, "I continue to hope their discussions yield a bipartisan product that makes significant headway on key issues like mental health and school safety, respects the Second Amendment, earns broad support in the Senate, and makes a difference for our country," end quote. President Joe Biden praised the bipartisan support on Twitter, but says there is more work to be done. Senate lawmakers would need to overcome the 60-vote filibuster threshold to pass any gun reform bill. The Supreme Court could be poised to vote on overturning Roe v. Wade as soon as tomorrow. The High Court updated its calendar on Thursday that decisions would be handed down Monday and Wednesday of the coming week. Justices have 29 opinions remaining to be delivered in the next month before its traditional summer break. A leaked draft opinion indicates that 5 justices were ready to overturn its 50-year-old landmark decision. There will be another January 6 hearing tomorrow, and we at WBAY will be carrying it. Former Trump 2020 campaign manager Bill Stipien will testify before the committee. Conservative election attorney Ben Ginsburg, who was an expert on election fraud, will also be there. Other witnesses expected Monday are a former political editor at Fox News, a former U.S. attorney from Georgia, and a former Philadelphia city commissioner. That hearing starts at 9 in the morning. More than 100 friends, family, and community members honored former Juneau County Judge John Romer. Romer was killed earlier this month in a targeted attack by a man he once sent to prison. The candlelight vigil was held outside the courthouse last night, where Romer used to work. People who knew him described him as a kind man with a great sense of humor.
Very encouraging, genuinely humble. He had a knack for saying the right words to people at exactly the right time. I've heard story after story, especially this last week from people of church, how he came up to them in their moment of, need and said exactly the words that they needed to hear.
The man suspected of killing Romer died at a hospital after what's believed to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Scattered thunderstorms could be possible tomorrow before heat and humidity hits our area. Here's meteorologist Keith Gibson with a first look at our weather. Keith?
Joshua, we do have some storms in the forecast for Monday. Some could be strong, possibly severe. There's likely going to be a complex somewhere in the region. Wind, hail, heavy downpours, and some frequent lightning possible wherever this thing goes, but the exact track and the exact timing still up in the air even late on this Sunday. We're watching these big storms erupting across the high plains, big storms in South Dakota and Nebraska, and eventually in North Dakota. That is going to come east later on tonight and get into Wisconsin at some point tomorrow. That is what we have to look forward to, but it's still up in the air as far as where things will shake out on Monday. Right now in Green Bay, it is quiet, 59 degrees. The air is very dry. We've got a cool night in store. Lows will be down into the 50s and 40s. Fairly quiet, but we will be watching radar later on tonight and, of course, for tomorrow. It looks like the first part of our Monday will be relatively tame, but by midday and into the afternoon, rain and storms will be likely around here. We'll have more coming up.
Thank you, Keith. Today, thousands took part at an event in Appleton that honors and celebrates June 19, 1865. That day was when slaves in Texas were notified of President Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation, which he issued 2 years prior. It made them the last group of enslaved black people who were freed. Megan Kernan was at that celebration and takes us into the festivities.
They have definitely put Appleton, Wisconsin on the map for Juneteenth.
The nonprofit African Heritage Inc. held its 12th annual Juneteenth event, bringing almost 3,000 people to Jones Park to celebrate a week early.
It helps us to show up nationally as a community that's welcoming and honoring Juneteenth for a celebration of freedom and a commemoration of those that gave their lives willingly and unwillingly in the pursuit of freedom.
This Juneteenth celebration is actually like the 7th most popular Juneteenth celebration in the nation.
Wow.
And that's in Appleton, Wisconsin. So how proud are we?
There were an array of activities and entertainment with more than 50 vendors ranging from community organizations to local black-owned businesses. A tribute performance also took place honoring Beyonce.
I've been grooving.
This event brought in people from all over, including Angela Kelly, who traveled from New York to celebrate Juneteenth in Appleton for the 5th time.
I love the diversity and inclusion that is here, and I love to see how African Heritage Incorporated is bridging all of the communities together to celebrate Juneteenth.
Juneteenth officially became a federal holiday last year. It commemorates the end of slavery in the United States.
Celebrating freedom, but also celebrating Black excellence and the expectation for us to be contributing members of the larger society.
If you missed Appleton's event, another organization is hosting a Juneteenth event in Green Bay next Saturday.
We have those details at WBAY.com. Reporting in Appleton, Megan Kernan, Action 2 News.
Still to come, the federal government scraps a testing requirement for international travelers. Plus, Russia is claiming a key region of Ukraine as the war continues to rage on. Where it is after the break.